everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In our last video, we made some frame rails for the D200, and in this video, we're gonna be screwing around with the crappy old frame itself. It's not that crappy, but it had way more flex in it than I was expecting, and that's not what we want for this build. This morning, we moved a bunch of stuff around so then we could get this thing up on the frame jig. If you don't know what a frame jig is, it's basically just a structure that holds your frame to be straight and square, which is really important. But I've never used one before, so I'll show you how we have it set up. We started by putting the frame onto the jig on blocks, and we blocked it up to what our ride height was gonna be in the end. Our ride height being from the tops of the square tubes to the bottom side of the frame is where we were measuring. Then we cut some uprights and put them on the 4 sections of our frame jig where the uprights can go. And the front 2 are welded straight onto the frame, whereas the back 2 are just have some shelves that are holding the frame because we're cutting the back of the frame off, which is kind of terrifying, but hopefully that goes well. Anyways, now that you're all caught up, we are gonna start welding the frame rails together so then we can cut the frame and tack weld them on. So we're having some slight difficulties with the middle piece, which is kind of to be expected. I'll show you. So our fitment along here is really good, but it's actually sticking out a little too far that way. So on this piece, the bottom is slightly kicked out, but I noticed that, and it's not bad over there. It was getting worse as we were coming over here, so I actually just kind of shaved the edge down to keep it nice and square. And we're also, what we're doing, as you can see underneath of there, is we are tack welding, we cut up a big washer, and we're tack welding them on the back, kind of like that. So when we have our nice little flush mounted access doors, they'll sit nice, and when they're off, it'll be a nice rounded edge. We'll drill a hole through there and have that's where we'll thread a bolt through. But yeah, besides that, it's smooth sailing. All right, so we got these frame rails all tacked up and kind of just sitting here clamped on the frame jig. I can't lie, that was all before Christmas. Now it's like late January. Times were just busy. My motivation was gone for a little bit, but we're picking back up and getting into it. So yeah, next step is I brought some big flat bar here. And I'm gonna weld it on from the top of this post to the top of the other post, same with this one back here. Because when we were welding these rails together, we noticed they were warping a little bit. And I brought a Tiger torch from work, and we're gonna just clamp the shit out of these and heat them up and see if it's gonna relieve some of the stress from the welding in these to straighten them back out. I know they're only tack welded together. We're gonna do this again once we weld it together, but we're just gonna do that and kind of see what happens. Oh yeah. Well, that's all we're gonna do for this video, but if you wouldn't mind sticking around for a couple minutes, I have a very important question to ask. But first, in the next video, I'm gonna be working on all the cross members that are gonna go along here. That's why I had that shock mounted up. I need to figure out the placement, how I wanna design them, where they're gonna go in, maybe even talk about the fuel cell a little bit. I even have an empty transmission case back here, or up front, because I need to figure out how that's going in. Same with the 4-link angles, all that nonsense. It'll be in the next video. But what I wanted to ask, because I've been taking a long time in between videos lately, but it's because I've been having a really hard time figuring out how I want to make my videos. So simply all I want to know is, for the people who are still watching, are you watching this because for entertainment purposes, because you want to watch somebody build something in a garage, or are you watching this because you want to learn something and learn about how to do this? And the reason why I want to know that is because I want to know how much depth people want me to people want to see going into this. Do you want to know my exact little techniques, my measurements, my planning, or do you want to just see more of like a montage of work being done? Because I'm having a hard time doing both, and I think it would be better if I narrowed in on one or the other. So anyways, that's all I really wanted to ask. So if you could leave a comment below and let me know what you want to see, that'd be great. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will hopefully be coming out sooner.